I'm Melvin, I'm 12 years old, and what was the first Thanksgiving like?
How do you do? Eleanor Billington, I am called. What did you call it, the first Thanksgiving? Well, I'm not sure what you mean. Could you describe it to me?
I'm Kathleen Curtin, and I'm a historian here at Plimoth Plantation. It's difficult for Eleanor Billington to answer that question because back in 1621, the English colonists didn't call the three-day harvest festival they had a Thanksgiving at all. Thanksgiving for them was a particular day they spent at church when something really important had happened, whether it was the defeat of their enemies or the end of a drought. The first Thanksgiving Day they actually talk about here is in 1623, and it's at the end of a drought that had lasted for some time and threatened their crops. But in 1621, they did have a harvest feast, and we know that at that time there were about 50 English colonists and about 100 native men who came. They celebrated for 3 days. They were celebrating the first of the English harvests here, and we know for sure they had venison. We know they had wildfowl, which included goose and duck. I suspect they had corn and squash and turkey and all the sorts of wonderful fish that could come out of the sea. It was probably a very diplomatic event as well. That diplomacy was front and center. These people didn't have a common language. They had made a recent alliance, so I think that there was probably a lot of people on their best behavior during those occasions so they didn't offend the other culture.